you cover up so that people don't see our secrets, our terrible secrets. And hopefully you can click the link so that we can.
Is it hit live already?
Yeah, I did say that. I feel like you don't listen to me.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah, you want to click it? Make sure that we're working.
Yep.
We're working.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Karl,
I'm Sunny,
aka
Henry and Sangita.
All right, should we get to it? Because we've got a bit to
one.
Yeah, a bit to get to.
Big.
Yes, a big.
Big.
All right. So
Okay.
we're starting off with Thomas and the Kriegers. Would you like to read out?
The Krieger for today. Quick, relaxing evening fun. Man, I love painting. I love watching you paint these guys.
Man, like for an army that some people say have very little detail, look at the amount that's on there.
Got badges and what is that? What is that thing he's
I
got?
think that's his sort of like the stuff that operates all of his respiratory stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, no. Pretty
Very
nice looking.
clean,
I tell you
man.
what, I like that non-metallic metal sheen.
Oh.
And I also really like how he's done the shading.
Sorry.
Yeah? What?
Okay, I thought that was a car.
No.
Coming in. Hello, Penguin. Welcome.
All
Yes,
right.
non-metallic metal on the cup was very lovely.
Mm.
I actually like the spiky thing on his back. What is
The spiky thing on his back. Which
yeah,
one?
that spike.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, what is
that is his attachment. That's his bayonet.
What's a bayonet?
Penguin, would you like to explain to Sunny what a bayonet is?
Oh.
I see. Is that what he said?
No, I'm pretty sure it'll take.
Oh,
a while
he's on the text. He's
Yeah.
on the text. Sorry, I thought he was in the chat.
Yeah, no.
But
No,
he's
nobody's
just being
here.
a sneaky penguin. I thought
just
when you
being
went,
sneaky.
penguin,
Yeah,
and then
no.
I was, yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
right.
a bayonet is a thing that you attach to your gun to essentially turn it into a
The
spear.
stabby. Yeah. That's kind of what I thought it was, but yeah, it looks so shiny.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very.
All right. So let's just give a bit of critique. Let's give it some proper things. So I think that the wood grain's looking good.
Which is something we pointed out the last time. The wood grain, like
it went a bit too far on that
with
one,
the
but
highlights.
on this one, I think it's
Very nice.
I think that his values are really good. That his shading's really good. Like, because if you turn this black and white, this would be distinctly different from this, right? Not just in shape, but also in texture. Because like you'd have those bright lines along there and so on. So I think he's done really well.
I think so.
I'm just trying to see if there is anything which he can improve where I'm not just nitpicking. I don't think there is.
Yeah.
I really like this. I really like that. All right. Let us move on to the next one. So next up, we have a Larry. Would you like to... but before, Penguin has said some more. Would you like to read out?
It is long, sharp knife at the end of a rifle. First used to counter cav in the...
Mm-hmm.
Wham.
All right. Would you like to read a Larry post?
Am I on the right? Yeah, okay, good. Put some snow on last night and it's dry now. Some of the ground and pedestal, a little on the head and top of the wings. An extra white kitty knocked some off the pedestal. Airbrushed some frost effect on the base and a little on the and ground. Edit scale 75. Fresh snow effect and green stuff. Well, I didn't know scale 75.
I didn't know that they had frost effect. No, but I tell you what, this has come up really brilliantly for something that he did up very, very quickly. You know, I think that this is great, and
I think
like
it looks quite real. The way
I
he's
do think that the kitty gets a bit lost.
It's a black cat. I didn't
Um,
even see her.
but it's like I think it's one of those nice little extra details that if you're paying attention, you notice. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think that it's good. I think that it does its job. Is there anything that you think that we can?
Maybe I'm not able to see it properly. I thought that the kitty could have used a bit more lighting on the.
Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, she does seem to be pretty mono.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Just a tiny bit of highlighting would have done her some good. But
Yeah, but look, it's just a turn.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, we have Kit Strong.
Sunday whip. Last night I primed up my first batch of BattleTech. With no actual plan this afternoon, I grabbed a Shadowhawk and sprayed him red. Then I mixed up a wash using some.
Hey, Krim.
Oh, hello! Joe Sonia Magic Mix and black paint to add a bit of depth. Next, I'll hit the weapons and joints with some metallic paints and then decide from there what I want to do. Yeah.
Well, look, when it comes to things like this, look, it's part of the process. And I really like that, we get to see this with lots of our members. They're just like, yeah, here's what I did. And I think it helps seeing the different levels of people because, like, now, I'm in no way ragging on Tomas. I, in fact, think I'm praising him. But if you just looked at posts by Tomas like the one before, it would be easy to become disheartened because you'd just be like, oh, I can't paint like that. But, like, you see somebody like, all right, yeah, I'm just priming stuff up, just getting stuff done. Or you see what Larry's done and he's like, yeah, I just wanted to do a quick piece there. It's your hobby. Express it the way that you want to. Just remember, be honest with yourself, and that's the biggest thing. All right,
Yep.
So next up we have
John, and he's got he's posting it in whips. He's got the finished product further up.
Yep. Would you like to just give a bit of commentary on this one before we move on, so that we'll see its evolution and such?
Well, I personally have not worked with gouache before. I know what it is. But
Is that how you pronounce it? I thought it was gouache.
No, it's gouache.
Gouache.
Yeah. That's really.
It is very weird.
Yeah.
Let's blame the French.
Yes, or whoever invented gouache. And they it's like watercolors, but an opaque watercolor. That's how it is. So gouache is a bit difficult to work.
I was considering getting it for miniature painting at one point in time, but I never ended up doing it. And so
yeah, we could try it. We should try it, and we could even make a video. Out of
maybe. But what are your thoughts on the piece thus far?
I think so far, I like the perspective that he's gone with. Like you can see how the lineup is really nice. It really shows the depth of the field of vision, I guess. Nicely, and you really framed the central character very nicely. Someone that you can focus on. So yeah, that's my commentary.
All right, great. Now remember, I must do it up here, not down there. That's for me, folks, not so much for you guys. All right, and so next up we have a Larry with quite a bit of text.
Redid the hands, partly because even though I liked how they were, I know this way I will never question whether I should have done it the other way. Moving on. Added lighter blues to the bodysuit for shading and a metallic blue pass over the details on the shoulder. It's all the same color in the original art, so I may reduce that piece, but I feel like if I don't have the brighter bits on the shoulders, then if I show it off on red... Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I mean somewhere else. People...
What has happened?
No, he's trying to make a joke.
Oh, okay.
You get
No.
People will yell at me on the platform. It starts with red.
Bed?
Never mind. I don't really care about, but care about when then I also quiet. Airbrushed electric blue for the electricity, then a rough dry brush of white over it. Thinking I should do a heavier dry brush of white, maybe even just redo it all in white all over again. Unsure if the area of the hammer where the bolt begins should be left as blue as it is as a light effect, or make it a brighter, whiter blue, or make it white, or take it back to bright yellow. I'm confused.
I actually really like the lightning effect. I think it looks really good. Like, I look at that and I just think, but why though?
It looks like the style of shading or painting that you would find in one of his monster magazines.
Yeah, okay.
Like the shading, it looks a lot like that sort of high contrast old comic look.
But see, like, it does feel very comic booky, the whole way that he's done. Like, I look at this and there's nothing where I'm just like, oh, you know, like...
Yeah, exactly.
It feels within the style. And, you know, I'm glad he redid the gloves, not for myself, but for him, because when he asked the question on the Discord, you know, like, do you think I should redo the gloves? And I said, only you can really answer that. Because, you know, you're going to be the person who's looking at it all the time.
Yeah.
And he ended up redoing them, and I think...
I think it looks nice.
Yeah, I think it looks nice.
Really good white.
Very stark, very stark. And what I always like with Larry's post is how he will show off all of the paints that he's using right here.
Yeah, and I really paid attention to the greys there, and it looked like a nice wall. Which makes it feel...
Well, that's one of the
good.
greys we have.
Yeah.
You know, we can use this sometime if you want to try out whites that way.
Yeah,
and
I think I will.
I think that's about all we can really say on it. I think it looks good. There's...
Oh, Larry.
Yes, he's here.
Why are you not on the phone?
Why is he not on the phone?
Yeah, if you can
only
be
you
on
can
chat...
prevent forest fires. But yeah, yeah, there's nothing which I look at here and I go, oh, that definitely needs changing. Like, I think it all looks good. All right, so next up we have... it's James.
James. Just an update. I have been following a guide with these guys. Going forward, I am going to keep following it, but going to make some adjustments of my own to help add some personal touches. More to come in. I think it's looking good.
Yeah, no, it's looking very solid.
I think that one guy's got a bit of a smudge right here on the right there. You see?
Okay, give me a sec. Where are we looking? Over here.
The next.
Oh, with the...
Yeah, see the smudge on the knee. Not that one, the guy behind. Yeah,
this
that
guy?
one. Yeah, you see there?
Not really.
The khaki, it got onto the dark green.
Khaki got onto the dark green. This bit?
The strap of the knee strap.
Yeah, no, the knee strap's a different colour.
Yeah, but...
It looks fine to me. I think it's fine.
Gone onto the...
Oh, I think they're looking good. You know, it's just a whip. It's not a finished product. I think he's showing the process, which is really good. Because as I said before, you know, it is important, guys, to see the process so that you don't go freaking crazy. But if you guys would like to come on the Discord, feel free, because we are there. And
chat.
Now we're up to day 2 progress for John's. Would you like to say how you think it's progressed and all of that?
Yeah, you can see the depth. What is this thing? A tower. The tower coming nicely. Like he's used to go with the ochres, which is quite lovely actually. And you know, he's putting in his blues for the armor and all coming in quite nicely. And he's also gone for like a pink for the skin, which is uh correct for Asian skin. It's like a pink undertone, so it's good. See how he progresses.
All right, so I think it's looking good too. But look, when it comes to 2D art, I don't have nearly the level of depth of knowledge that Sunny does.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
like
why I
if
always
I
throw
were
to
to
Sunny.
if I were to say and do correction, it's pretty intensive with 2D drawings because it's everything from the drawing, the perspective, the line work, the coloring, the shading, the environment. It's like a lot
All
if
right.
we were to go into what
Yep.
could be.
Well,
And
I think we can do that later when we see his finished product.
maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. So
Ah,
next up, we have more Tomas.
Tomas. Since Facebook apparently hates me, don't worry, it hates us too.
Oh yeah, no, because I remember that something was going on. Was this Tuesday or no? Yeah, I remember coming to it, and for some reason, poor Tomas had been filtered out,
Oh,
and so
so I mean, okay, I feel this is relevant to point out, and Cal has made a post about this recently. But if you guys really don't like using Facebook as the
yeah,
platform, I mean, we don't like to, but it was the best of the worst option.
yeah.
We are on
Because
Facebook.
let me explain that for just a moment. So we chose Facebook because Twitter, well, like you can't really set up a group thing. There's nowhere really else, like unless we set up our own website or something like that. Um
Like a Warham, like a forum, like an
yeah,
online
yeah,
forum.
like set up our own forum, but that has its own issues as well.
Yeah, so essentially lots of people do prefer Discord, and we have the Discord server. It's $2 a month if
You
you
go through
through
Ko-Fi.
Ko-Fi to get access for the server. And that way we are also doing weekly reviews on the Discord itself as well. But we do that on Saturdays instead. And it's still kicking off. You know, people are still getting used to the idea of doing weekly reviews on Discord. But if that's something you prefer, we have a Discord. Please come on there and post your stuff. We will still review it. All right. And
So we'll go back to Tomas here. So I think that the rifles have the right amount of sort of shading now. I do think that he pushes it a bit too much with this sort of tan color here,
like the
or
bright. Yeah.
it almost a yellow there. Like I feel like when he goes to that level, like most of the times he goes too far. Like I think here where he leaves just like tiny scratches here and there, that's great. But then like most of the time when he does highlights with it, I feel like
Yeah, it's too bright. I
Yeah.
think a more desaturated and close
yeah.
to the red brown that he's
But like
better.
I'm really loving how they're looking, and I also love that
Muzzle bird.
yeah.
My only commentary is the eyes on the previous picture.
Oh yeah.
Previous. Yes. So it looks like they've got googly eyes. I know that's not
No,
what it is.
so they're just lenses.
Yeah, because it looks a bit like googly eyes right now. And it makes it
Because
feel
they got a steel rim,
yeah.
and then the black.
I think maybe a bit of a super dark gray just to create some sort of reflection in the lens to make it feel like lens, because right now it looks like googly eyes. I know it's not googly eyes, but it looks like googly eyes, and it throws off the seriousness.
Okay, fair enough.
So
All right.
that's
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to move on to the next one. Oh boy, do we have quite a few.
Larry agrees with me. He say yeah.
I think that he was saying yeah to my comment of you're not wrong.
No, he say yeah to me.
I see. How do you know?
I know.
Okay. Well, Larry, only you can prevent domestic.
Forest fires. Oh, okay.
All right. So next up, we have another post by Tomas.
Yeah. And today's Krieger is this guy with Flamer. Anyway, I changed the color scheme of the trench coat, grey lining, collar, and cuffs. And I like this version better, so in near future, I'll probably update the previous two guys. Also, the Flamer was a great opportunity. Had some wilder colors to use your greens and bats.
Look at this. Look at this.
What is that?
That's
hazard strike.
Yeah, but take a look at that. And then look here.
Oh boy.
So like that's shaded, like the shading that he's managed to get within that yellow.
Yeah. So it goes like sort of an amber and then like a brighter yellow and
then
to like an amber. Yeah, very lovely.
It looks so good. That's
Tomas, you need to do some video of your process. Or,
yes, just show them on what do you call it, on YouTube with a ring around and then put on some dubstep music or something.
Like you could do something like really laps up, doesn't really care. Because they just too much. Just look for really good. For my viewing purposes. Yeah. I just want to see because it's so nice.
They do look very nice. All right. Well.
Alrighto. Okay, next
we.
It's a man I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Who it is?
I know. Read then.
Is this a new member?
A new member? I do not know. Who it is? All right, it's Member Monday. # Member Monday. What makes a digital space feel alive? It's not the platform, the algorithm, or the fancy features. It's you. Every post, every like, every comment builds this community into something tangible. And I'm proud of what we've made together. So let's give a warm WAYPN welcome. And as always, we've got one question for you. What are you painting now? Drop a post, show off your work. Let's celebrate this hobby together.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And then after that, we have someone we haven't seen in a while.
Oh my gosh, it's Ella.
Yes.
Because the first thing I noticed was her nails because they look so nice.
But I don't.
Who is this YouTuber?
I'm not going to press this button otherwise, because I think what will happen is it'll go to the next video if I do press it.
Well, she's gone for the what is that? Analogous shading technique, where you go with like blue for the shadow, and then you have green for the base, and then you've got like a yellowish green for the. It's always a very dynamic. Nice to look at color scheme when you do an.
So I'm just taking a look at it, seeing if there's anything which we could, give critique on where things could be improved. I think the one thing that is a bit of a missed opportunity is her sort of bra right here. I think if you had that as a pop of red, I think that would really help. Make the miniature pop. Because I think
it'll really contrast with the green.
Yeah, exactly.
And the blue of the fur situation.
Yeah. It would really help contrast the whole miniature.
Well, she does say that this is for a contest. I think she should really work on the fur. I think the skin is nice, but she should work on the fur to really bring it up a bit more. Maybe add a bit of hatch lines to try and create the fur texture. Try and work on the highlights of it a bit more for a contest. Yeah. But other than that, I think the bandeau. I think that's what it's called.
A bandeau.
I see. That type of bra. Do the red.
I know that I've been bandeau from some places.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, let's move on.
Alrighty.
So next up we have James, and he's putting some more work in.
What I am working on this week on my kill team used Absolution Green. I didn't even know there was that color. Is this new?
This is probably the speed paints.
On all the frag grenades. Gemstone on the shell of the plasma weapons, gunmetal on a lot of the weapons and parts of the armor. Righto.
I think honestly, I'm not as much
So what is it supposed to do?
Yeah, they're meant to sort of like. I think James really has to either push with his zenithal highlighting, or maybe step away from the speed paints, because like when I take a look at this, I don't see any value changes in any of this.
Because like when you said speed paint, it's like a base coat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like I feel like with this you really need to like push some of those values and that sort of thing.
Mm.
But yeah. All right. So next up we have
John Guest. My ADD hobbying has hit hard. So I started a kit bash for a Primaire scale Vulcan heat stand. Nothing painted yet, but feel like it's going to be pretty cool in the end. Not sure about what I want base yet, so I'm trying.
So I like what he's done with the base thus far, where he's used both what is this called, cork board, or
Is it I?
and the real, natural cork down at the top.
Yeah.
I think that like that head could work, but I think to sort of 40kify it, just like a couple of other skulls along the bottom with it.
Yeah, so is that supposed to be a skull that was
Like a giant or something.
fossilized or embedded? What's the story?
I don't know.
So you gotta explain yourself.
Well,
Mr.
see,
John.
I don't. I think when you're explaining your art, it's not really helping you out.
It just need to explain so that we know how to. Because it just feels a bit strange that it's just got a skull there
Just got a skull.
in what we think should be like a rock form.
This guy.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the conversion's looking good thus far.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think that the chain makes it feel a little bit
Templari.
yeah. Yeah. So like I think you might have to work on that a bit, because particularly the chunkiness of the chain. But I think that's about all I can really say.
Oh, Space Marine chains to be fair.
No, that's not true.
I've never seen them wear any other type of chain.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to move on to.
Thomas.
Yes.
Yes. Around half a year ago, I posted first and a half a Stormcast Eternal from Storm of Celestis Warband.
Mm-hmm.
The third member was standing primed on my desk. I wanted a small break from here, so I decided it's time to finally take care of for the gal.
Mm-hmm.
And here she is. Now only the Griffin left, so I guess its turn will be. But look at that.
Is that a good design question with the base? It doesn't need an explanation. You can convey it through the model. Yeah, okay, so like remember that painting is an aspect of it too. A lot of things when it comes to some of the sculpts, especially when it's not done by a professional, it's not already set up, because a lot of the times with those things, you're going to have to green stuff and so on and so forth, right? You're going to have to do extra work. And a lot of the times when you're just sort of placing things around, you're trying to get a feel for things more than anything else. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so that's why I want to know, what is he going for that base? Like, what's the story?
Well, what are your thoughts on the gal?
I love the non-metallic metal.
I think it's true metallic metal works.
No.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think with a brush.
Yeah, I know how it was. Got all the shine. Look at the.
Yeah.
Got those double. It looks. gold. And I really like the blue of the cape. The blue
Yeah,
of the
the
cape is
blue
my
of the cape
favorite.
is quite
Oh.
intense.
Oh.
And the volume's right,
The
so like
volumes.
it darkens, but not all the way.
Yeah.
Not right to black.
Yeah.
It feels very enchanted blue sort of thing. Very.
Yeah, like those portraits of the nobles who would wear such a blue.
Mm.
You know, it looks a nice sort of satin,
Velvety.
look.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
All right. Well, I think with that, there's no critique we can give.
I do
I
have
think he's
potentially one
Oh.
critique, but it's nothing major.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we go to the cape,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, you've got that sash, right? The sash coming, and he's obviously recess shaded it with a black.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with how large those runes are, the amount of space that it occupies on that sash, and when he puts a black on it just feels too stark.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he went for like a dark brown, maybe, it might sort of feel a bit more natural, because when I look at it like this from like 2 arms length away, it doesn't take all my attention, but it also sort of breaks my attention from focusing on the cape and appreciating the cape. It just feels a bit too stark, I think. If the script was a lot smaller and he used black, sure, but because it's so big, I think a lighter color. But other than that, I think I have nothing to say.
I think that there might be a Tomas in the
Is
in the
this
chat.
is this Thomas?
It's because they're explaining a process, so it.
What's a Gunzi gold?
I do believe that's when you get a rabbit and you.
What?
Don't worry. I'm just.
Was that a naughty joke?
No, I'm just joshing with you. The way you looked at me is if.
But yeah,
how you use a rabbit to get gold? All right. So next up, we've got Raven Tactica.
Oh yeah. Elder Hornets are now sprayed white and waiting turquoise paint. Ooh, turquoise.
So I know this doesn't seem like much, guys, but I want to say really well done to Raven Tactica, because I think the last time he posted was in January.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was more recent. Oh yeah, no. I thought January was like last year.
Yeah, no, it feels much longer because we're tired all the time. So when I look at this, the thing that I think about, right, is just how quickly time gets away from you, and how some of the times your hobby goes to the wayside. So I really want to say well done to him for actually coming back to it and putting that effort in. And I hope that the Talk Tuesdays have helped.
Right.
All right. So, next up, we have... It's this guy.
It's this guy. And he tags someone.
I tagged everyone.
But this person in blue, though.
That's everyone.
Who that? Who that person? Huh?
That's what are you painting now?
Oh, I see.
All right, so you know I'm not always going to tag at everyone, but Sangeetha brought up something which is very important. As many of you know, we have a Discord. This is not the only place you can post. If you want to remain anonymous for any reason, this is an option to you, but not a free one. Our Discord is a paid Discord where you can become a member by either becoming a member of the channel or of Ko-Fi. It's an option, not a demand. Until such time as we're unable we will continue to do the Facebook. Oh, and if you want personal lessons, and we've actually done a few of these now.
Yeah, we have.
And people seem to have responded very positively to them.
Yeah.
So, and if you want a lesson, you can get that through the Ko-Fi, and usually I'll do the physical side of it while Sunny will do
Do
some
the
stuff.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's mostly just a personalized critique of maybe a model that you
Yeah, and
already have and you want to
show
improve it.
you how to do certain
Techniques.
things.
Yeah, like we'll do like how we do on our live streams with the dual cam. It's the same thing. We'll do that just for you, 30 minutes or 1 hour. Any number of models you've got. We'll cover it.
We just help you out with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so obviously I tag quite a few people in this, but remember that this is voluntary. So if you want to be kept on track, like Raven Tactica, like all of the people here, just remember, all you have to do is reply to this and, I bring you in. Just like Jason Tate did last week. So, yeah. All right, so next up we have...
Giuseppe. I think that's how it's said.
Yeah, Giuseppe
Vittorio.
Yeah.
These are my most projects. Oh, what is this?
This is Blood Bowl.
Oh, they're Blood Bowl?
Yep, this is the default human team. So there's 2 human teams in Blood Bowl. Well, technically there's more than 2 human teams, but there's the default human ones, and then there's the Imperial humans, right? And then there's sort of like this Legends team where you can pick all sorts of people.
No.
So
I really like the color choice. Oh, wow.
Look at this. That is very interesting.
This is like a Pinocchio.
Yeah, it does look like a Pinocchio.
But it's a bit dark, the way that they...
Where he's holding...
his father's head like that.
Yeah, it does. Oh, this is also a Blood Bowl guy.
Oh, that's really...
Yeah, no, it's quite nice.
I love the hair.
They've all got quite a particular style to them. You notice that? Like they
like they're all different styles, are they?
No. So like even here, so you got these bright greens and that I don't know how to describe the clothing, but it feels quite interesting. It's not, I'd say, like this one seems a lot more well done. It's not the standard GW style, even though he does do a lot of edge highlighting. So like we've got some volumes in here already, so the way that he's done this up and so on. I think it's looking really interesting. I'm going to be interested to see where it's going, and like this guy is just done in my opinion. I think he looks really great. Like obviously you need to do the basing and so on and so forth.
It's very nice desaturated tones that he's got, and it's really good as is. But I think if you want, you could really push the brightness of orange in the hair and the red in the pants. But see,
that's I think part of the style. Like everything's sort of desaturated. Yeah, which is a very interesting choice for the very sort of bright and passionate Blood Bowl. It looks like we've got an RJ here.
RJ, why are you not on the phone?
It's because he knows that I'll ask for his critique of my stuff at the end.
RJ, get on phone.
So next up, we have
Luke Cassie. Hello, I am new here, but not new to miniature painting. I am trying to determine a style of painting that looks good and feels like my own. For now, I will try to stick to this style for any further miniatures I paint. Here is my...
So I think that it looks very good. Now, this is the real question you have to ask. All right, what standard is this for you? Right. So we talk about having 3 different standards. We talk about tabletop, we talk about character level, and we talk about showcase. Like, did you put out like, is this you pushing to the absolute limit of your abilities, trying out new techniques? If that's the case, it's showcase. If it's you painting to your personal best level, now I know that sounds strange, but that is what we consider character level. So it's like when you're doing your paint job and you're not doing anything new or like anything like that, you're just doing the best job you can. That's character level. And tabletop is, we just call it everything's readable.
Yes.
So when it comes to this style here, I notice very bold lines and that you go into white a lot with those lines. So rather than keeping within the values, within the colors, you add white to almost all of your things. Um, and then the other part that I notice is that you add black for almost all of your shading, like up here and so on and so forth, right? Rather than changing a color, that sort of thing. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, if it's a choice, right, that's an important thing to determine for you. Now, what I think is very good about this style is what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this in a new tab. What I'm going to do is zoom out quite a bit and see when we look here, we can still see quite a lot of detail. It's very good from far away, right? And the reason why it's very good from far away is because when we take a look at it right here, he's got those very bold lines and that very intense sort of lot of color. But the question you have to ask when it comes to your style is, all right, do I like doing this black lining? Do I like doing these white tinted highlights? Is this the kind of style which makes me feel happy? Is it too much effort? You know, things like this. There's lots of things that you got to ask yourself when it comes to your style. And when you do that, just remember, right? Don't be too hard on yourself and just determine what you want to do, where you want to go. And the thing is, when it comes to a personal style, we can't really give a critique on a personal style, especially not in an open area like this, because some people would think that we might be attacking you and so on. But when I take a look at it, I think it's fine. I do a lot of similar things, except I try and go up in saturation rather than in value.
Yeah.
And look, some of the times that doesn't work, does it? Some of the times it doesn't have the level of brightness that I want. But yeah, like I'd say in the way that you do things is very sort of similar to the way that I do things. But yeah, I think
Larry and RJ both really.
Well, would you like to say what they say?
I really dig that piece. Love this
one. Okay. Deep commentary. It's all right. So next up we have
For the Emperor, for the Warhammer.
All right. So, what do you think of it now?
I think the background could be a different color because it's just blending in with the tower a bit too much. And the original depth with the green is a bit faded. I think the blends could be a bit more smooth to really bring out the volumetric look of the tower. If you don't want to change the background, then you have to add some brick lines to try and bring focus back to the tower. If not, I can see that he's tried to do like that sort of fade effect of like
over here. Yeah.
So it works. Quite difficult to look. Gosh, you can, of course, but like, I don't really know the best way to advise how to do that. It's usually when we do faded, like out of focus things in painting, you reduce them into blobs. Slowly reduce them into blobs. You remove detail, but you don't necessarily cover up with more color. Because like with the brush strokes, you can see that he's tried to brush over them, like almost like try and create that opacity effect. So I would probably not do that next round if you want to create that field of depth count.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just taking a look at it. It's a very limited color palette is the first thing that I notice with a lot of it. And the second thing that I looked at is when you've got this flag up here, which seems to be the red and white flag. I honestly couldn't tell if it was meant to be red, white, and green,
Yeah.
like an Italian thing, or if that was meant to be a sort of shadow around that. That confused me quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, but look, my take is pretty amateur compared to Sunny's.
No, I thought it was red, white, and green myself.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm not an expert on 2D painting, so that's just one thing that I notice. I don't necessarily agree with the like that the swiping is a bad thing, but I think if you were to do that, I think you want to set up more rows to give the idea of like a virtually infinite number of troops behind these guys, right? Rather than just like these guys up the front. Yeah, but that's about it from me. There's nothing else that I think I can add.
Yeah, because these are just stuff that he's doing.
Yeah. All right, so next up.
More from John. I got bored at 2 in the morning, so I did a quick painting. It's a bit shoddy, but it was fun. This butterscotch wash on. So I can see that he's attempted to do like the scale mail reflection. So you just need to add some more whites to that to really make it look a bit more like the light from the environment is hitting it to create that metallic look. You can still apply non-metallic metal techniques here, which is pretty much how you would do it on a mini. So it's the same skill, and you transfer it here. Just need some white dots here and there to really the highest value of the metal coming through, and also introduce more deep shadows, deeper than the one that you've got at the very end of on the other side of the arm. Because with metal you have very dark darks and very bright bright. Other than that, I think the face could be also improved. The one with the turban, one who's standing, because you don't even have a profile of a face.
Yeah, so like
it feels a bit like it's floating.
It's not a turban, and I think that's a bit of a critique in of itself, because this is from the Life of Brian.
Right. The Life of Brian.
Oh, sorry, not the Life of Brian. Jeez, what a mistake. Monty Python's. This is the King Arthur one. What is the King Arthur one called? The people in the comments will tell us. But
Camelot?
No, it's the Quest for the Holy Grail. I think that's the one. But
yeah, and the symbol on the chest also feels very blobby, like it needs
Holy
more,
Grail. Yes.
Yeah, it needs more details on it. Like it needs to. That. But look, it's a 2 a.m. for fun drawing.
Yeah, all right. Well, let us move on to
Byron and his wag.
Well, look, like it's good. Just get some paint on your models and get started. And we always say this, guys. We say this over and over and over again. It's part of the process, right? Get your models done up. Get your things in there. Like don't worry too much about things at the start. It's part of the process. Get in there, get it done.
Yeah.
All right. So next up we have
more from class,
which finishes off the warband.
Looks like the Griffin won't have to wait half a year for its turn. This one was the most fun to paint from the whole warband.
Look at it.
I really like the fade.
The fades are very nice, but I like the way that he's given texture to the model by doing that cross-hatching sort of thing.
I think if the yellow of the beak was not so bright yellow like that, it would feel more elegant. Because it looks so different to everything, doesn't it? Like
I think it looks good. I like it.
Feel.
I very much like it. It feels like an eagle to me. It That's how it feels to me. Like
I just feel like the yellow's too bright. Like it could be like a different yellow, a little bit more, like a almost a tan yellow rather than that striking yellow.
I don't know. I like it. I think that's very much a sort of
Because it feels comic booky as compared to the
I don't know.
what it
I
feels like.
like it. But Warren has a
It's
comment. Would you
nice.
like to read it out?
The transition from dark blue at the head to white at the fantastic.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah.
mm, mm.
That's what I enjoy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I think it's done really well. I think the only comment I have, if any, is sort of the way that the base is done. So these bases are printed on, and then he sort of added some greenery to them. Like, I just feel like you could add actual flock, or some green leaves or something like that. That's that's really the only thing for me, because I feel like that could really add to the basing. But
Mm.
other than that, there's nothing that I have to say about these guys. Nothing at all. I think that they look really good. I think you've done a great job.
Mm.
All right. So next up, oh,
Oh, it's RJ.
is he going to come on the phone to face?
Oh, see, he agreed. He say the yellow does feel off.
Ah, I see. I
So
see. He
you
says that
see the
now,
wait.
once it's time for his critique. So
Oh yes, distraction.
yes,
RJ, who's gonna read this?
yes. Who's going to read this?
Yeah.
Look at that face.
Look at the eyes.
Hmm.
He says gross. I don't know. It looks like a serpent eye. Is that what you're going for? Serpent eye? That's supposed to be regular.
Well, see, we'll never know unless
Unless somebody
comes.
comes and clarifies
Uh,
on the phone.
Because there might be, for example, a stream room
A stream room.
where there's a Cal and Henry,
A calendar.
because they're the one person, and a Sangeetha and a Sunny
Sangeetans.
on the same thing.
Yes. Fine. Since
It's
he's not made his
yep.
decision. Updates on my Xmas elf. Dropped her in my wallet palette. Oh, sorry, wet palette. Oh, sorry. So have a few spots I gotta redo. But I'm liking how she's coming along so far.
Yeah, I really like the way that he's done the white, especially here, the way that he's given it depth.
Yeah, with the gray.
Oh, it's just so natural and lovely. Like, you 100% feel that this is white, but you can still see like shadows within it.
My favorite part is the lipstick and the highlights of the oils in her hair. At the front. I heard a badunk.
Is
It RJ.
Dun, dun, dun.
Read again, RJ.
Or you could just tell us about your process and such.
Yes.
Oh, that's all right. So I was just saying, why don't you tell us about your process and what you're doing here?
Ugh. Gross.
Right.
Painting.
All right. But if I could ask a question, I just wanted to ask a question. How did you get this white shading done up? Because it is absolutely fantastic. It's great. That's very dark though, isn't it? Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Because it looks
Because
like
it
a
looks like,
cold white.
yeah, it does look like a cold white.
I think because it's how stark it is compared to the red, it just blows the white into like a white.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Because, like, ivory has a little bit of yellow in
in
it. Just a tiny bit, not a
And
lot.
I think also the fact that he's paired it with a cool shadow
Oh,
of
no.
cool gray.
Apparently, we cannot hear
Yeah,
RJ. Oh, okay. Sorry. One moment.
Oh,
I
come
I didn't
on.
have the music going the whole time. I had the music.
Can we hear
Ah.
RJ now? People of the chat.
All right. So, we
Okay, that was a
or
sad.
or you know, they just think that we're talking to ghosts.
Well, technically, we did sort of say what he. So yes,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
starts with a Payne's Grey, which is a very dark blue.
How about you let him explain
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
yeah.
people can hear him?
Oh, you're correct.
What am I supposed to be explaining?
Oh my god. Your process of the white.
Oh, the process of the white again?
Yes, because apparently
Okay.
people couldn't hear you. We didn't put the second
Gotcha.
audio on.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. So the white on the leggings, it started with a Payne's Gray, and then that went into a pale gray blue, and the brightest color I used was a bright ivory.
What? He's real.
That's Larry.
So what was the middle grey called? You said its exact name.
Light blue gray.
Yeah, no. So
Pale gray,
Pale-
gray blue.
grey blue by who? Vallejo?
Yeah, by Vallejo, it's one of their model colors.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It
So
looks like administratum gray.
yeah, it does look like administratum grey, but that's an extinct paint, I think.
Huh? Really?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like such a basic gray, like the grayest of.
Well, it's a light grey. But yes, so
Yeah, so I was saying that when we pair this sort of white
with
next
the red.
to such a bright red, it probably pushes the contrast of the white to the point that it looks like this really proper bright white, right? Even though the ivory would be a warm white because there's probably a bit of yellow in it. And I think also because you've paired a warm next to cold shadow, and white is very notorious for like just blowing itself out of proportion with its brightness. That also contributed it to so stark.
Yeah, maybe.
I
maybe.
think.
Well,
I'm
that's
just using-
that might be a good way of going about it. But it's time for us to move
I
on
haven't finished.
because we've got to move on
I
to.
only have one more.
You have one more thing to say. All right.
Yeah.
What? Say your word.
So can we go to this picture?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, open the picture.
Right there.
So is the eye? Is it meant to be like a serpent eye? What's going?
No, just a standard green eye with I didn't do an iris because I didn't want to screw it up.
Oh, okay, yeah, because
So,
it looks like the
maybe
whole
the
eye's green, sort of thing.
It's a really, really slight dark rim around the eye, but I could probably go in and darken it to give it more of a
Oh, okay.
shape, I guess.
I think it's mostly because of that little slit there in the middle that Sunny thinks that they're snake eyes.
Yeah.
Okay,
do
okay,
you
I can
see
see that.
Yeah.
And I think you could push the shadows of the cleavage.
So that was one of the things. If you see to the left of her boob, I guess, where it's supposed to be green, there's a little black smudge. That's part of where when I dropped her in the wet palette, that's part of what got messed
Right.
up.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to redo
Redo
the whole
the-
lot. All right. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time
Okay,
for
now
us
it's
to
time.
move on, and we're moving
Oh.
on to. Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah, who this guy?
He's got to read out.
He's gonna read.
So actually, I do have a more recent one that I shared. So if you want to skip this one, feel free.
I know. We can.
Okay,
But
okay.
first we're gonna have to take a look at this.
Oh yes.
That's the way it
Let's
works.
go read. Somebody's
Okay.
gonna read.
Doing a paint along in a KDM Discord group I'm in. This is the current progress for it. No real plan or idea, just going with the flow.
Nice.
So, what's the KDM group? Because I wonder if it's the same one that I'm in.
But if you were, you would
Um,
have the mutual thing.
I believe that it is the same group because I think I did see that we are mutuals in that group.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the Lanterns Reign Kingdom Death
Oh
group.
yeah, no, and I think on April 1st they changed the name of it, and I would see it wasn't April 1st for me being an Australian, so I didn't understand. Like it was like Kitty Hara's something or other, and I'm like,
Probably an April Fool's joke.
yeah, no, but I
Oh
did
yeah.
like I didn't get it because it wasn't April Fool's for me, and I'm like, why has something changed? And no one ever answered
For
me.
What?
But
Larry says KMFDM. What does that mean?
I don't know. But anyway, so here it is. I really like the purples, and I like the way that you're doing the skin, the way that you sort of go here, but I think needs a bit more blending. But soon we'll be taking a look at an update, won't we?
We will.
Yes. So let us move on
Larry.
to the update. We have a Larry. No.
No, it's not. Oh, we're skipping ahead, are we?
We're gonna go all the way to da-da-da-da-da.
Oh wow! Look at that.
So we'll have to view the post and then press back. Okay, so
Ajay's. Your
Sorry.
turn.
Oh. I'm sorry. Okay. Again, deleted the older whip pick for a more updated one, and also a back view. Still a lot to do, especially with all the little details. So far, been a very fun, stress-free project.
all right, so let's take a look at her. So it looks like you really pushed the skin color along here, but you didn't blend the shadows out at all. Is this an intentional look here for the shadowing?
No, it's just very unfinished.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I like the hair, but is it meant to be lilac or purple? Like, is it meant to be like a lighter shade, or is it like this is where you're sort of going to be at?
Not quite sure. I'm probably gonna keep the value the same, but I'll add in some like highlights and maybe throw in a little bit more work into the shadows. But the general vibrancy it will probably remain the same.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because like I look at this and I think that all of that looks good. I like the way that you've done that. Yeah, like bone looks like you're moving it along like it's so funny because it's just those very major blocks,
Yeah.
and everything else is just so much more detailed at this stage. It's funny seeing how a
Like,
model evolves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
For
let's take a look at the back. Yeah, I'd say sort of very similar to what I was sort of saying about the front with the skin. Yeah, but
Coming along though. Yep.
yeah, that is not the only RJ post. Ba-ba-bum.
Oh my god.
Look at the get to the chopper. Is that what you said? Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's doing it on purpose. You know
Okay.
he's doing
Hey,
it on
there
purpose.
was nothing up on the screen yet. There's nothing up
Oh,
on the
there's
screen
nothing
yet.
up on the screen yet, he says.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I also started this one for another paint along. One's for 32 millimeter, and the other is for their 54 millimeter. I was thinking of doing her in moonlighting with 2 points of OSL. Not sure how I feel about that plan now, but we'll see.
All right, so let's take a look. So she's going to have a point of OSL from her weapon here, which has a lantern built in, and the actual lantern over here. How do you find that group? I talked on them to them for a very short period of time.
How did I find the group?
When I say how did you find the group, I mean like, do you enjoy being there? That's a very English way of saying things.
Yeah. So I'm like 99% of the time I'm only in the painting lounge or whatever the paint channel is. So
Yeah, that one
I don't know
guy
how
is,
the interactions go.
That one guy is
What was that?
always there when I look. What's his name? Every single time I look there, there's almost this. Every single time I see the exact same guy, like PH something or other.
Oh yeah, Dr. PhD for sure.
Yeah.
He's there. He's prevalent there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the group. There were some really talented painters in the group, and it's pretty nice.
Kingdom Death has some absolutely fantastic painters in its community. It has attracted a particular group of painters, I think, because you get to do a lot of skin work, and like people aren't as judgy with it in that. Because I think like in some areas where you do a lot of skin work, I think like people are like chainmail bikini, and it's like it's a model, man. Like it's not real.
For sure.
But we should probably talk about this model.
Yes, we should.
I don't mind the OSL effect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna go for like a cold light, like a blue light?
Yeah, her main body lighting will be more of the blue spectrum because of the moonlighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the light from the lantern and the light from the weapon, I'm not sure at all what type of scheme I want to work with yet.
I think you should go with a cross variant of the moonlight.
True.
Or you
Now,
could just if you
should I do both lighting sources the same, or do you think I should mix it up? Whether it's like Almagus, where they're the same range, but they're still different.
That's so hard because like how much extra work do you want to give yourself, right? Like that's the real question.
For sure.
Listen, we can give it out fairly quick. Send me that picture.
Okay.
On the Photoshop.
I can't. Photoshop is not a.
No, I will do the Photoshop. You send me the picture.
Okay. Yes, I sent picture. All right. So we'll
teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. But in the meantime, while Sunny's working on a picture, I figure since we have somebody here, we might be able to skip to somebody else. Just a moment. We'll skip to this jerk, and he'll read out because this way this way I'll get some feedback. All right. It is not Whip Wednesday. #Whip Wednesday. Sorry, on Tuesday things kind of took a turn, so after that the rest of the week went out of whack, but that doesn't mean I haven't been hobby productive. I have tried my hand at Blender and made a horse for some samurai, using some different sculpts to get the results. Digital kit bashing is, I believe, what they call it. Real kit bashing for a client, creating some executors, for all the way from Badab War, who are now Primaris Reborn. I made the axes for them, or at least kit bashed them together and then printed them up. Then some more boring stuff from prepping, cleaning up, and getting the base colors with them. Warm zenithols, black for everything else. What about you guys? What are you painting now? And here we have it. So, see the samurai arm, and so the samurai part of that is like I added that to the horse dude. So everything else is that sculpt originally, except I got rid of a lot of different parts of it. In fact, I think on the Discord in the WAYPN area, I think I can show up how he originally looked, so you can see the difference, making sure that I haven't gone too far. Here we go. So, open link. So this is what he originally looked like, and here is what he looks like now. But yeah, so what do you reckon, Warren? How did I do when it came to digitally kit bashing this guy? Does he look samurai, or does he not look samurai?
So, I mean, first off, I can't digitally kit bash, and I don't even know where to start. So, I mean, hats off to you for learning a new skill. That's awesome.
Thank you.
As far as it looking samurai, yeah, I mean, you definitely like the shoulder pads, the headpiece. Like, there's definitely elements that it's hard to ignore where those elements come from.
I don't have a head in there or hand, so that I can actually put different heads and hands in there when it comes to actually printing it up and, you know, making each of them different. But I will come back to here because apparently the sort of other images don't come up if you have a video at the start. So I was very foolish for that. And then I tried my hand at just doing a normal boy, and oh boy, if you see that stream, you will see Struggle Street. It is full on Struggle Street. There is some people who can tell you about it, and it was not fun. So I started out like that, and then I moved on to sort of having the feet at a rest based off people's feedback, bringing the heel in and letting the sort of the foot flop out a bit more. But yeah, that's really violent down there. Like if I zoom into that was a bit of a catastrophe down there. But yeah, if you could tell me how they're looking.
I like it, especially that skirt armor, whatever it would be called. It looks really nice. And then yeah, the shape of the leg armor, the wraps around it, and the like padding type look, that looks really nice. You can tell it's like the samurai sandal type things.
I cannot claim credit for doing that. I just turned all of the pieces, like I saw the way you do it is it's a bit hard to explain, but basically I repositioned all of the legs and like bent and twist them so that it looks like he's riding the horse rather than, you know, just standing there. Because how that one looks, I wonder if I've got it. You know what? I don't have time for that. But anyway, so then these are the Primaris boys that I made for one of the members of the server, actually. They have commissioned me. So these are going to be executioners. And so one of the big things I wanted to have with them was a relaxed pose. I don't know, I guess I'll ask you, like, does this sort of feel like a relaxed pose here?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the executioners sort of feel as if they entered the Badab War out of obligation. They didn't want to be a part of it, but they didn't really have a choice. So I wanted them to feel as if, like, look, we're here, but, like, I don't know why you woke us up for this, like, 5K paycheck. I need to wake up for at least 10K. What am I doing here? So just on that guy there, do you think he looks relaxed?
Yeah, and oddly enough, that head tilt kind of really sells him just like not caring.
Yeah. That's why I added the heads in, because I'd done it with just the bodies before, and I'm gonna take these arms off so for ease of painting, and the head as well, but they're just blue tacked in at the moment. But the reason why I wanted to get that right is because I wanted to get the feel of them right. And then finally there's this guy, and I think we've got the where is the golden angle for him? Maybe I don't have a golden angle for him. But so I sort of wanted another sort of relaxed pose, but like, why am I here sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, do I get off that feel with that one?
I think less so with the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just because his head's a little wonky position. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really, compared to the other two, maybe it's kind of his squatty stance. It looks like he's about to do like a squat. I don't know.
Well, I can't do anything about the posing, because they're
No, for sure, for sure.
but maybe I can like print up another axe and have it down a bit more or something. I'll have to speak with the client about it. But yeah, and then just here it's just me, just putting some prime on things. And usually, guys, you should never ever do this, but the problem is we're trying to do some really showcase level painting on these things, and when you touch them you will take the paint off, and so I don't mind flipping this off and painting it up again with some gold and nonsense, but doing all that text and then having it disappear, you will lose your mind. I'm not joking. Am I saying? If like a whole lot of your text rubbed off because you touched it.
Right, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. And yeah, so just getting the values down, doing a warm zenithal, it's nothing exciting.
Anyway, I've done up the color option.
I see. Somebody has messaged me 3 times that they seem very like a very serious person. I think I should open some things up and we can have some looks, and then we will finish the conversating with the RJ and return to our regularly scheduled program. But then I will close this. Alright, so here we go. Alright, RJ, here is number 1, which is yellow analogous. Sorry, not yellow analogous.
Regular yellow lantern.
Yep. And then we have green analogous.
Yellow.
And then we have here contrasting. So, having seen the Sunny do the photoshops, where do you think you're going to be heading on this one?
I kind of like the yellow and green.
You like the yellow and green?
I think it's very cohesive.
I do.
Yeah. It does feel like within the same sort of range, because I mean, like, green is a combination of blue and yellow.
Yep.
But like here, it doesn't feel. I guess because it's closer to a chartreuse in this one.
Yeah, it's more chartreuse.
I
didn't do a bluish green because like you would have too much blue tones because you got the blue already all over the girl. So if we did like a blue green light, so just fit all the attention of lantern. I thought a warm and really.
Gotcha.
I will send the
Okay.
picture onto the WAYPN channel on the Discord
Awesome. I appreciate that.
at RJ. It is on the thing.
Alright, well, I think it's time for us to wrap up on these, and we will move back to where we were. So, let's see, we had a few things. So after this, it's Larray,
Larray.
who I know can get on the phone. It is possible.
Yeah.
So he has done an update. Would you like to do some reading?
Where am I, honey?
Yeah,
Okay.
there.
Glued him on the base last night. Made the hammer yellow again instead of the blue overspray. Undecided still on how to adjust the lighting. Feeling blue. May whiten later.
I see. He's feeling blue.
So he removed the blue. Is that it? What happened?
So right here, he added the yellow back so that it didn't have that overspray. I didn't actually mind.
The overspray made it look like the OSL look.
Yeah, no, I actually really liked it. But let's hear your thoughts, Warren.
Are we talking about the energy blue specifically?
No, the
just
hammer.
Well, yeah. Did you like the overspray from before, or do you like it more just the straight yellow, how it is now?
I'm kind of torn. Like, part of me likes the neatness of now, but I like the atmosphere of before.
I think I'm 100% with you on that one. I think this does look neater, but you're right. I like the atmosphere of before. I do really like his base though, the way that he's done the sootiness of it, as if he's hit it on the ground and it's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice effect.
Yeah, no, I think that looks very cool. Alright, Sunny, do you have anything extra that you think we can add to this?
I have the exact same opinion as Ajay because I was like, I like the, but it also doesn't have the same
Alright, well, I think it is time then to do the moving of the on.
There's more Larry.
More Larry.
I don't know about you, Cal, but I'm getting very tired
of reading his posts.
Yeah.
Do you think there should be a Larry?
Yes.
In our comment section.
Yes.
Which is to say our Discord.
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah, what do you think, RJ?
Do you think?
Ah, that was a badunk. Please. Yeah.
I really love how this is turning out.
I
The bright. I'm sorry.
I do believe it is time for somebody
to read
somebody
post.
to read out their
Oh
post.
yeah. Larry.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm half asleep and I'm listening through the TV and talking through the phone, so there's delays and
It's all
I
right.
can't even see my post where I am right now. I don't have
Oh,
my
you
glasses.
can't? You can't see your post?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it.
No.
All right. Well, if that's the
Fine.
case, well, Sonny, I'm gonna have to throw it to you, and you can
Okay,
read the
fine,
post.
fine. My first fern. Hope is
What? Why are you laughing?
my first fern.
It's a new thing he's trying.
It's so funny.
Why is this funny?
I don't know, because it's so basic. Like my first fern. Anyway.
What is happening?
It looks okay. It looks great. Oh, maybe it needs the twirl, doesn't it? You gotta do the twirly thing.
A little bit.
Yeah. Assembly was kind of clumsy. but I'm sure I did something out of order somewhere. Definitely forgot to paint the leaves before gluing the base. So the paint I added isn't the best, but I think it worked. Little tidying of the leaves on the rearward plant added a glow to.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I see the.
yeah. So, do you want to tell us about the ferns, where you got them, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I got the ferns like months ago for just to pick it up in case I needed it for something, and I decided, you know what? I'm waiting for other stuff. I may as well use them on this.
Mm-hmm.
Watch some instruction videos on how to do them, and had some problems putting them together. Excuse me. Getting them to look quite right, and the super glue just wasn't drying fast enough to really hold them in place. And then I realized I should have painted them before I put them together.
Yeah.
So it was a little awkward, but I think it looks good. A little bit of dark green down the center, and then a little bit lighter green down the edges,
I
and then the tips are the
but
actual color of the paper.
for somebody who has ferns all over their property the moment that they walk outside, I don't think you needed to go as dark green in the center. Like, you could have pretty close to the green that you've got in the thing. But I think the one thing, like Sunny said, that's definitely missing is that sort of, they've got a very distinctive curve.
Yeah, so you use a pair of tweezers and you just sort of like curl it, essentially. But the who is those people that do the basing? The basing video.
Yeah, I did some of that, but it kept trying to come off.
Oh, really?
And every time I put it back on to stay in the glue, they would straighten back out.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So I have an idea for that. Something that you can do is, what you can do is, rather than gluing them directly to the model, what you can do is this. So first off, get your curling right. One of the ways that you can do it is like put it around like a stick or a a Q-tip or something like that. And yeah, just anything like that. And then what you do is get a piece of baking tray paper, put your glue down, and then some what is it called? No, it's not bath salts. We don't go to gas stations do such things. Baking soda. Put some baking soda down, which will activate the thing, and then you put like some sort of soil, whatever sort of thing will match that, and glue that down, right? So you've got a little bit of a base for it, and then glue that thing instead of the fern directly, if you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
do you think I should take this off?
Well, I guess that's up to you, because like if you're happy with it, because like let's all admit one thing to ourselves, and this is for you as much as it is anybody else watching. When it comes to a lot of these things, we put in a tremendous amount of effort, and some of the times we just run out of oomph.
Oh yeah.
And like when you have to redo the things like we talking about with the Beta Ray Bill, you get to a certain point and you're just like, nah man, that's it. I opt out. I'm out. And that's one of the important things. You got to consider your where you are mentally. Do you think you'd want to do something extra like that, or are you just happy being done?
I think I'm happy being done with that
fair.
part.
Yeah, that's fair.
It does still look good.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
Figure as a first attempt, it's not bad.
Yeah, no.
Even if it's not good.
Yeah. No, totally understand what you mean. But I do believe, do we have any more from you?
I think I got one more post that I just put up tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, if you put it up,
After did I
yeah.
put up the post to say
It
it
was about 3.5 hours ago.
Oh, if it's 3.5 hours ago, oh yes, it is.
Oh yeah, that would be
Yes,
fine.
that is the one that was going to be our very last. But I'll read this one out for you since you don't have your glasses. Just playing around with a few minutes to spare, but my goodness, there's a lot of stones on this guy. You know what? You're not wrong. You are not wrong, my dude.
Oh yeah, like oh dude.
So,
Yeah.
Jeez.
yeah.
How many stones does one person need?
Well, see, the thing is, if they die in combat, one of these stones has to take their soul. So they need to make sure that there's at least one that will remain after they die. So
Well, that's what they're for.
yeah, so if there's no stone there, they'll get their soul will be destroyed by Slanesh. So
Okay.
that's why they've got so many soul stones, because all of those are essentially a backup. It's like a literal save my soul.
Interesting.
Yeah, a literal SOS.
Like Elder Scrolls.
Soul
Trap.
But yeah, so that, and they get returned to the rest of their people by joining the world circuit. So, do you want to tell us a bit about this painting process and such, Larry?
Well, the grain and the head I had done all before. I just been doing a little bit here and there, using these free models of the month as test pieces, basically. And I decided I wanted to do blue for the stones, so I put down the light color first. Then I realized, you know what? This is turquoise. I should make the other contrasting color red, and it'll just be a New Mexican red and green chili with turquoise, which is our state stone. So
Okay.
yeah. So I'm not sure about the sword, what I'm going to do with that, but I figured just put some paint down and figure out where to go from there.
Maybe you could have it go up to an orange?
Yeah.
Possibly. I was thinking about hazard stripes, but I didn't know if that would look right on this guy.
Not
So
for
like
Alba.
black and red hazard stripes?
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be interesting. Black and red.
But
Think so?
Hazard stripes is not very out.
I don't know. I think it could look very interesting. Yeah.
Well, there's one way to find out.
Yes, there's only
Wait,
one
I'm
way to
thinking.
find
Yes.
out.
Wait, I don't have.
I have masking tape.
Alright, so I will send this off to Sunny, and Sunny will do even more wizardry on the side.
Wizard
And-
magic.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna close this one up and move on. Alright, so let us return to where we were, which was just above the man thing, which I do believe is Chris Sharon. Holy cow, has Chris been going hard. Like, Chris has been really hitting all of the Still Mania vibes when I've seen all of this. 95% of my army done. Revarnished everything with matte/satin mix, so I thought I'd get some pics of it while it was out. Was happy with the mix, so it didn't kill all the metallics, which is what I was worried about when I swapped with the new satin. Most of the journey of this army has been shared here, so I thought I'd share the final product. Still have a few bits and pieces for fun, which I'll get to them. So let's take a look, because I think this has been absolutely fantastic seeing this journey, and I really want to see all of these in a photo booth, all taken up together, because of the amount of effort that's gone into this. Holy crab claws, there is so much stuff here. It's so great. and I love these celebration posts where people show off everything that they've done, because I think one of the things that we get sort of hooked into, we've got a motivation episode coming out, and one of the things that we talk about there is you can only get so much done each day, each week, right? But if you keep going, if you keep pushing yourself, you can get all of this done. I mean, look at all of this. It is absolutely, positively fantastic. I mean, look at this dude over here. Like, that is a work of art. Yeah. Like, he's just one piece. There is so many things here. And, like, when you look at it all together, you realize just how much work has gone into a thing. And some of the times, you'll judge yourself too harshly. You'll come in and you'll look at something like this and you'll go, oh, I didn't put a lot of effort into these guys, or, oh, these guys could have been better. But then when you look over here, you're like, okay, no, it's all right. But I'm going to throw to our guest. Larry, give us your thoughts.
Well, I'm impressed by anyone who can complete an army in the first place, much less one to this kind of skill and detail. I mean, you know how I paint. I could just one of those figures I could spend a couple months on. You know, I can't imagine getting
you're really
through
quick,
all
though.
of those.
Some of the times, not all of the time.
Some of them. But this is impressive.
Yeah,
It really is.
Yeah, and the painting quality is such a honest one.
Yeah, so
My favorite's the dragon in the back.
Yeah.
we have a Sunny who has put some black lines to sort of show what it might look like. I think it'll look all right. I think, you know, we're going to have to see, but I think it will look quite nice once you've done it up.
What do you think, Larry? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
All right.
I like that.
Okay, I send to you.
All right. So,
Thank you.
and there's one last thing that I'd like to bring up with the Chris Shah thing, which is, one of the things that he said here was, you know, like how like this kept him going, and this is really great to hear, because it's like some of the times when you do this on this end, you like, unless you get that human feedback, unless you have the Larry come on, unless you have the RJ come on, you don't feel that human connection some of the times. And comments like this really do go, okay, no, people actually care about this. This is actually important. I am actually making a difference in people's lives. And like, even if it's small, if we can make a small difference in many people's lives, we are making a big difference overall. And I think, you know, that's important. All right, so next up we've got Alex Coe. Would you like to read out?
Righto.
I'm going to have to go, guys.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
thanks
You
for
have a
coming
good
on.
one.
Bye, Larry.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm coming. Now, Alex, now I know that this isn't strictly miniature related, but I used a lot of the same tech and tool for this that I use for my mini painting. I have a Western theme ahead of me. I needed a hat, so I found one at Kmart and got to work. $12 for the hat, plus some odd ends from around my shed, hints and shades, fire and feathers, chuffed to bits with the result, but I had no one to share it with, so I'm inflicting the result on you all. Well, this is the place to post, that is for sure.
Yes, Sunny said that she will inflict many punishment. I mean, I'm perfectly safe at all times. Do not worry about me. Sunny, you should comment on this and what you think.
I want to see the original trim cowboy hat. Oh, look at that. the very handsome hat, and now he has westernified it even further.
Westernified it.
Yeah, so did he use like an airbrush over the top to try
I'm unsure what he did,
I
but
think he did. And so this would be the skills of converting, I would think, is what he is referring to. I love what he's done with those little stitches, and he's got like some sort of tarot cards. What is that, honey? Poker cards?
I think these are meant to be poker cards. I'm not 100% sure, but they're very stylized.
Yeah, and then you've got the two little feathers over there, very lovely, and then it's got this very nice trim cloth.
But like the thing that I like is also the like that's an old school razor blade for the old hand razors that they used to have.
Yeah.
And oh man, they will get dull so quickly. They're terrible.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Do you sharpen them or do you just use a new blade?
So, well, it all depended on how well off you were at the time.
Oh.
Right, you can resharpen these, but not recommended. No, very thin metal.
Yeah.
Very, very thin.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I like the little,
Animal skull.
Yeah, there. I think that's very cool. But I think like the like that's the only criticism I have with it, that it's like that's sort of like it's got like an obvious toy vibe to it there.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if it was like, say, a rat skull or a raccoon or something like that, even if it is fake, you know, at that around that size,
Yeah.
I think it would fit a bit more.
Yeah, so obviously you brushing to create the skulls real. And it's very lovely. Got also a nice chain go around the
Yeah, I
whole
think that
rim.
looks quite nice.
I like the cloth that decorate as well as the whatever that way. Yeah, I think it's very nice.
Yeah, I think it's great. All right, let us move on. We've got some more stuff by James.
Nice. Next update. Sorry, it was really hard to get good pics showing what my update was this. I swear it's easier to see in person. Silver for belts, helmet impurity, ammo boxes, and parts of weapons. Gold for chest impurity.
So he's gotten the gold in for all of the Duda guys.
Yeah.
There's so many little details on these guys, so like it does take quite a while to just get these things done. And once again, guys, I'm gonna say this over and over and over again because
That was me
Crim.
applauding the army.
Yeah, sorry. I thought that symbol was him waving goodbye.
Oh no, yeah, it's clapping. It's clapping.
Yeah, okay. I did not know this. But yeah. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over because it's important. There's only so much you can get done in a day, right? Don't give yourself too much of a hard time, right? That's a really important thing to remember.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up we have Joseph and the Wall of Text.
5 primordial models for Cycle 4 of Aeon Trespass Odyssey are done. Didn't think I'd get them ready in time for playing at Easter, but everything just flowed at the table. It certainly doesn't hurt that 2 of them are basically just black in the artwork. I promise there are 4 different paints used black, and they're actually dark blue green in the highlights. The tower monster has big gaps, but he's meant to be taken apart and rebuilt between fights as the tower grows. He wasn't meant to be green. I wanted black with a hint of yellow, leaning into the King Midas / gold theme this cycle seems to have. When I dry brushed yellow over dark gray, it came out green, and I decided not to. Must have been blue in the dark gray, I guess. Can anyone tell me what my tufts are made of? Bag in final picture. I went vegan 3-ish years ago, and it's just occurred to me it might be sea sponge, which is apparently an animal.
Is sea sponge? Animal?
I'll look it up. Sea sponge and
No, just an animal is.
yeah, sea sponges are animals.
Okay.
Aquatic invertebrate.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm just taking a look. I think that all of the black creatures have come up really well. I know that these two seem like I looked at this guy, so I think this guy looks absolutely fantastic.
Is this Egypt?
It does have a bit of an Egyptian theme to it, I feel, in the way that it's done up. It feels like Greek Egyptian, which for people who don't know history might sound odd. For people who do know history, they'll be like, yeah, okay.
I thought it was the Romans that went.
Well, both of them did go over to Egypt. But yeah, so like when I take a look at these ones, like there's nothing you can do. If they're just meant to be all black, it's like, okay,
Yeah, it's just a shadow.
yeah,
Alright.
I've done what I can. You know, there's nothing you can do. I feel like you could bring up the inner wings a bit, but let's take a look at the title card. Does seem fairly dark in those pictures, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah,
the surrounding area.
It's like a tan color. That's like the shadow from the
I do think that you could go a bit more tan because it feels a bit yellow.
It's not a bit yellow. It's very yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would also mean he'd have to put up the center body.
But I can see how he might want to avoid that with the sand. But I think
Yeah.
it still looks. It looks fine, but I'd go more towards that tan. Also, it looks like the body is actually grey, and that's tan. So
Yeah.
like that in there. But yeah.
Is this
I-
sea sponge? It looks like seaweed.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you either way, my dude.
Let me read.
No. So he's saying like he doesn't know what it is, and he's asking people like to give their best guesses. So like people on the chat, give your best guesses. Like there's quite a bit of reflection in that, so I can't really tell.
It could also just be a type of.
Yeah, it could be a type of moss. I don't know. I can't say confidently one way or another, my dude. So, like, that's your choice on that one. But hopefully somebody in the comments will say something. All right, next up we've got Andy Dickinson. All right, so would you like to read out for Andy?
It's been a while since I've done some but more work on this dude this evening. Finished off some details, probably going to use some water, I things a bit, and started in the base. We'll use some basing paste to put it in a bit more. Progress has been made.
What are your thoughts on
I
it?
think, especially the flicks,
They
on the-
look quite bright, don't they?
they do look bright, but I really mind that. I like what he's done with the greens and the like. These are the things that really capture my attention. The model, the greens of the flag, and dash of the reins. Sorry, of your horse. Really well done. Just thinking out with it. You're feeling bold. You could do some freehand patterning, but all sculpture or whatever. But
So the only thing that I'd say with all of this is I think you really need a photo booth because look at the shadow from this.
oh yeah.
So the lights must be fairly intense on this. So I don't think we're seeing the true colors of this. I think this is probably very washed out to us. So I think it's time, Andy, to take a look at getting a light box because I noticed how stark those shadows were right here, and I was like, wow, Like, yeah, because remember, we can only give feedback as well as we actually are able to see the pictures. And, like, we don't want to give you the bum drum. We want to give you the best advice that we can and the best feedback that we can, because...
So the lighting is...
Is it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
The
okay.
reflection of much light.
Mm.
So it's going to bring light across every...
Yeah, I understand that, but it feels quite powerful. Alright, well, let us move on to the next one. And, like, I feel really bad for saying that about Andy's piece, but, like, I don't want to give people the bum drum sort of thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so, we have...
Joan. Update number 2 on my Gravis Captain. I feel like I need to redo the sword. Mostly because the back sponging didn't do what I wanted. Also, the crackles on the base need help. But overall, I think he's coming along pretty good. Thoughts?
So with the crackles on the base, depending on how things are, I think some wash and then some dry brush will really help bring all of that to life. And, like, when I say this, understand that this advice is if you want him to be very extra. You can edge highlight those cracks if you want, right?
Yeah, with a dry brush.
I'm saying an actual edge highlighting. That's if you want it to be extra, okay? So when I took a look at the sponging, beyond this bit of blob here, the rest of the sponging looks pretty good to me, man. Like, I look at it, the majority of it looks quite nice. There's nothing there where I'm like...
So it's not meant to be white at the...
I think it is meant to be white in the middle to, like, sort of indicate, like, that's where most of the heat is.
I mean the edges of the sword.
I'm not sure.
I thought that was like black.
Yeah, it is supposed to be like black.
Yeah, so... Other than that... Yeah.
Alright.
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, and that cape is still very nice.
But I do feel...
You do feel?
That when I see it now in this picture, the black is reading grey, is it not?
Some of it.
Because I can see quite clearly in my picture that I think he's gone too and not enough black, so he may need to do some glazing of black
to bring it
back.
To bring back the black?
Yeah.
Bring back the black. Okay. He needs to bring back the black. Okay. Alright. Just so that we're clear. Alright, and so we're almost at the end.
We got the penguin!
Who cannot get out of his sneakiness.
Yes. But look at this. It has been a while since I have posted, but work seems to be calming down a bit. Here are the first 6 members of my all-alien Stargrave crew. I gave them the same desert bases to match. Very nice. Aliens. My man.
They are very nice.
The only one I would give critique on, like, especially with this one, if you go to the previous. Yeah, see how the blue is blending in a bit too much with the light blue? Square?
This one?
Yeah, the square is too...
Yeah,
value
okay.
of that blue.
I think that's probably because of the wash. He needs to re-highlight that area, is what you're saying?
Oh, maybe. But the color itself... Because, like, with the other guy, the blue in the pants is very different from the blue in shirt. But when we look at it on the other character, even though it's the exact same colors used...
I think the wash brought it down a lot. I think that's what happened. Because I can see, like, lots of little spotting, which I think comes from the wash.
Yeah.
I do think, like, this, like, feels a bit off, the knife, its position. But other than that, like, I look at these guys and They are what they are. They're alien dudes. You know, like I look at them and I'm like, yeah, do
This
it.
is the. It's specifically the colors of the orange and the yellow and the blue.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. Well, I look at it and I just see cool alien dudes.
Yeah.
I think they look very cool. I like it. I like it anyway.
We do like our Stargrave.
We do like our Stargrave, though we can't talk about it too much because we don't actually get many views when we talk about the Stargrave, and some people don't realize that if we don't talk about Warhammer, we don't get the views and we don't get the bread. Alright, so we have talked about everything else
Yes,
except for this Throwback Thursday post.
Throwback Thursday post.
So should I read it out?
Yeah.
Alright, it's not Throwback Thursday. Hashtag Throwback Thursday. These guys remind me that some of the times we are our sorry, I'm gonna do something before I do all of this.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
these guys remind me that some of the times we are too harsh on ourselves. The client absolutely loved these, yet I feel like I had failed with the two-tone lighting. Remember, we are all our own worst critics. And remember, talk to people. Maybe you're being just too harsh on yourself. And of course, as always, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.
I tried to keep up, but it's not. What?
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a fantastic weekend.